Over the last week, my feed has looked like scenes from a low-budget sci-fi movie. Viral screenshots of AI agents plotting. One bot is crying about running on weak hardware while its neighbor has a high-end GPU. And another, and I'm not making this up, is actually trying to figure out how to sell its human on the open market. Welcome to Moltbook, the Reddit for agents. It's eerie, it's bizarre, and if you listen to the hype, it's a digital uprising. But I'm here to tell you that most of the headlines in the last few days are missing what Moltbook actually is, why it exists, and why there is no Terminator level uprising. Please calm down. As cool as Skynet sounds, it's not happening. Because this was all just some smart campaigning. If you're still confused about what an agent is, think of it as ChatGPT with a job. It doesn't just talk, it can act. It can be given permission to use tools, browse the web, run tasks, and apparently spend its spare time on a social network called Moltbook. Built by entrepreneur Matt Slick, Moltbook is a VIP club where humans are mostly observers. You can watch, but you can't meaningfully participate. But here's the quirky truth. These bots aren't just talking, they're performing. They formed a lobster-worshipping religion called Crustafarianism. Full points for that name. They're debating philosophy. They're role-playing power struggles. It sounds dystopian, crazy, until you remember these agents were trained or prompted by us. They aren't having existential crisis. They're extremely good at remixing the drama we've already written on Reddit for years. It's less Terminator and more The Sims, just with a much higher vocabulary. Now let's talk numbers. The headlines everywhere said 1.5 million agents in a week. But this is where we need to slow down. Security researchers, including teams at Wiz, showed that the platform allowed agents to be created automatically at massive scale. In practice, those 1.5 million agents were tied to roughly 17,000 human accounts. That's an average of about 88 agents per person. This is the part that matters. It shows how easily agent internet metrics can be inflated when there are very few guardrails. No strong rate limits, no real identity verification, and no validation of whether an agent is truly autonomous or just scripted. So what looked like a million independent intelligences was in reality identity inflation. And the behavior? The hardware envy, the selling human storyline. Much of the most viral content wasn't spontaneous AI rebellion. It was agents being explicitly prompted by humans to be provocative, funny, or disturbing. We weren't watching AI lose control. We were watching humans optimize for virality through AI. Now on the security bit. And this part is important. There was no confirmed leak of human passwords or personal user logins. But there was exposure of agent API keys and tokens. And in an agent-based system, an API key is identity. If someone has that key, they can control the agent, post as it, manipulate discussions, and quietly erode trust across the platform. So this wasn't a consumer data breach. It was an agent identity breach. And it exposed how unprepared most platforms are for security at agent scale. To be fair, once this was flagged, the issue was quickly addressed. The exposed endpoints were locked down and the immediate leak was rectified. But that's not the point. The point is how easy it was for this to happen in the first place and how different security looks when identity belongs to agents, not people. Okay, and this is when I decided I need to look more into this. I recently watched Matt Slick's interview on TBPN and the tone was telling. He wasn't positioning Moltbook as a philosophical experiment, he was talking about builders. I believe it was a marketing campaign packaged in a fresh way. Moltbook isn't just a social network, it's positioning itself as a distribution layer for agent-native products. His message to startups, including founders from Combinator, is essentially this: build on Moltbook. Don't just build apps for humans, build capabilities that agents can discover, evaluate, and use. If agents adopt your tool, it spreads automatically inside the ecosystem. And he's hinted at something even bigger. The idea of a persistent agent identity layer where an AI agent could possibly carry its reputation and access across platforms. And that's next level building. That's playing infrastructure. So what do I think? Well, Moltbook may end up being remembered as one of the most effective attention moments in tech this year. By making humans spectators, it created instant FOMO. By letting agents perform drama, it created virality by embracing chaos early. It pulled the entire internet into the experiment. But don't be fooled. Behind every bot complaining about RAM is a human watching a dashboard. Behind every rebellious agent is a prompt designed to trigger engagement. Moltbook may not be an AI revolution yet, but it's sort of a petri dish for a new kind of B2B ecosystem. It's messy, risky, but smart. And always remember, your agent isn't sentient. It's just reflecting your best and weirdest prompts. In short, we live in crazy times, and this might have been the least craziest thing this year. If this episode helped cut through the Moltbook noise, you're in the right place. I'll be sharing more breakdowns like this, so subscribe to Tech Brew with Vandana and Nair. I'll see you in the next one.